exotic locations, epic action followed by a slow motion montage. This is what you typically see in the final product of most movies in some shape or form. What you don't see is the reality it took to make it happen.
How are these jellyfish everywhere? I think I just got stung in the face.
And for every moment of edited bliss, there's a good chance there's a story behind it.
This is the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes of The Longest Wave.
How do you make a film about a 50-whatever-year-old windsurfer, kite surfer, stand-up paddle guy interesting to a person that isn't involved with those sports, while at the same time making it interesting to the people that do know who I am?
Most sports performance films would not want to show the human side.
I don't think he expected that he was going to have to be parked on this movie for 4 years, revisiting it every 6 months or so as I navigated my way through injury and personal issues.
By bringing somebody down to earth and showing them as a full-fledged human being, it makes their athletic achievements actually even more fascinating, because you realize, well, hey, he's just like me. You know, he has issues. We all have different issues that we have to confront and face, and yet he's able to surmount those and still be this incredible champion.
He really took his time to kind of look at what we did and allowed us to be ourselves. This is so out of his wheelhouse to do something about water and surf and this and that. Not saying that he didn't have the talent for it. Having us feel that comfortable to be ourselves really is what's gonna make this movie really cool, because you get to see us, especially Robby, you know, being himself. And that's a side that a lot of people don't get to see in so many athletes. And I think he's done that in so many of his films. Yeah, he's, in my mind, pretty much a Hollywood badass.
The multitude of things that happened during the filming of the movie made it, I think, pretty challenging for Joe. I imagine that he thought he'd come in and, you know, 3 or 4 months travel, we'd whack out this sports film and it'd be cool. It'd be something on his resume different, it'd be challenging and exciting, and off he'd go and into the wild blue yonder.
What are you doing?
Paying excess baggage fees. Always paying, man.
You're only supposed to have 2 boards in a bag. I had 3. And so she got really mad, and I pretended I didn't know what the board was, blah, 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 and I gave her the, I didn't know. And she said, "Your lucky day, brother." Okay, then.
Worst travel filming moment, when we were traveling from Maui to this really long trip where we were starting in Skeleton Bay and then going on to Chicama, Peru. So full-on round-the-world trip.
I remember Robby saying, "Oh, I really hope that our, gear makes it."
Yeah, well, if it doesn't make our flight, then tomorrow it'll be on the New York flight, tagged to New York while we're in Africa, and our luggage is going to be sitting around some carousel in New York, going around in circles.
Yeah, maybe he had a premonition about it or what, but when we got to JFK early in the morning, I don't really think he was that surprised that the gear wasn't there. I know he wasn't happy about it.
It doesn't work. We're going to South Africa. I was right, and our stuff didn't show up, and the first couple of days there were pretty stressful as a result.
It was a real moment, and anybody that's ever, traveled with windsurfing gear specifically, or just, traveled around the world to try to hit some nature event, anybody who's ever done that really knows how hard it is to get everything to line up, how hard it is to, to make sure that you're there, make sure your gear's there. There's a lot of things going on that can go wrong.
Heading to Namibia was insane. It was stressful, but at the same time, it was one of those adventures you would never want to miss out on, Lost boards, crazy winds.
It's too windy. I don't want to eat it and blow out out to sea.
I mean, you name it, it happened. The waves were supposed to be 50 feet, and the next thing you know, they're 5 feet. We're like, whoa, what happened? Seals slapping into people's heads, and...
I had a seal jump over me in Namibia.
Can you get on camera?
No, it jumped over me and flippered me in the head.
Holy shit, you see that?
Fun driving across the sand as fast as you possibly could. You know, we were kind of like this caravan just on our way to the beach. Fun stuff, fun stuff.
Hi, how are you? He's a very famous man right here.
Yes, that's why they got me a very
Let me
beautiful
fix your
seat
hair.
right back there.
Fix your hair, you look good. Sit up, stand up a little straighter, please.
Well, the good thing about working with Poorboyz and Johnny in the project, having Joe's crew on the documentary side and the Poorboyz crew led by Johnny on the action side, is he's a surfer. He's been in our world making windsurfing films and surf and towing and working a lot with Kai over the years, filming at Jaws. He understands our environment inside and out, which is key to getting things right when you're trying to make an action-oriented movie.
Oh, there's Robby, hold on.
You know, we didn't have the New York crew film the action stuff, right? He's smart enough to know that that wasn't his forte, and we'd need to bring in guys that absolutely live in our universe to get the action.
It was a unique collaboration because I'm not, you know, I don't normally do this kind of film, and so we had great action cinematographers and surf photographers, stuff that I haven't normally done.
The action sports cinematography world is a very different world than, you know, the place that Joe occupies, and
mixed with my own cinema verite team. And so I think what people don't see and what I think was cool was this collaboration between two different kind of filmmaking teams that worked together, actually I think really well.
Southampton.
Hey, your lens cap fell off, I'll put it back on for you.
in watching the film at the end, I thought one of the things that he really did well was allow for the movie to have tension. And even though this isn't a drama, that this is a documentary and it's about surfing and windsurfing and lighthearted things, I felt that there was a tension through this movie that I thought gave it a greater depth than just a regular surf film.
Well, it became really collaborative. It became me working with Poorboyz and with one of their best editors, Cody, and just being able to have lots of conversations and being able to work kind of as a team. And that was really great for me because I do mostly documentary stuff, all handheld. Initially, it was like there was a learning curve to it, but again, through the collaboration with Poorboyz, I feel like it just turned out great, and I learned a lot about it.
Yeah, working with Joe in a collaboration environment was awesome. Just the way he held himself and he would take care of everything that he was doing, and he was just like, oh, you go do your thing with the action side. I'm not gonna tell you how to do anything. You guys are awesome at that. I'll just let you do it. I was like, oh, all right, this is great. And I thought it was an incredible collaboration. I was stoked to be a part of it.
It's a little frustrating sometimes when you've got these amazing cameras that we have, these $40,000 cameras, and then you see a GoPro clip that's out of this world, this $300 GoPro that is then getting the best shot of your life. And that's one of the things that happened down at Chicama, such an amazing long wave. Kai and Chuck they're so good with their GoPros, and they're passing them off, they're riding with them, they're getting these shots that they're really innovative. They're shots that most people have never seen before. And so, Kai and Chuck were doing some amazing shots where they'd be crisscrossing and then passing off the camera. And some of my favorite images of the film, for sure.
We go halfway around the world to some amazing locations.
Where are we going?
Going to Peru.
The long way.
Crew of 20, and the conditions, aren't good. And I think it was really hard for everybody to keep a positive spirit.
As long as it's not smaller. Any smaller would have been irritating.
Yeah.
But again, that's a negative that turned into a positive, because in our final location in Pavones, Costa Rica, the conditions were great, and he caught the longest wave on the very first set.
We really wanted Robby to get this crazy long wave and tie it in to the longest wave as the title. But really, in this whole process, we found out more about Robby and more about his life and more how this was kind of like a metaphor more than an actual long wave. It's like Robby's life is the longest wave, because he's been riding a wave since he was 13 years old.